Okay, give me a sec. Okay, there we go. Alright, I think we're good. Yes, I think we're good. Let me go ahead and get the chat up. Okay. Sorry about that, everybody. Oh man, I had to take care of a tech issue. But I think we're good. Okay. Alright. Okay, we should be fine. Okay. Hello there, everybody. This is MarioVavian13 here, and welcome back to Education Day. And also, the reason why that I'm showing up Google Translate right here is because today we'll be doing Education Day, the South Korea edition. And here is what I'm saying in English, and here is what I could be saying if I were not to butcher the language, but I will try my best to say these words. You know, it's just how I do things in every Education Day thing I did do. I even tried to speak French. So yeah. Alright, so here's what I'm going to say, and here's the same thing over here in Korean. And geez, I must have been watching a lot of sci-fi shows. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just trying my best to come up with yeah, okay. I'm gonna try my best not to be offensive. But knowing that what I'm about to say might be considered offensive, so I'll just go ahead and just not say it at all. Okay, okay. Yo. Oh, jeez. Okay, this is definitely gonna take me a while. Please rate from 1 to 10, if 10 being the highest. Oh man, I'm definitely gonna butcher the Korean language. By accident, of course. Okay, yo. In. Gosh, yo. See you. Yo. Yayo. Yo. Yo Leo Bun. J. Is it hey or J? I don't know. Ilihum. Yeah. Il. Ilium. Ilium. Mars Living 13. Oh, really? Did I forget to put a space between that? No, yeah, it's okay, it's good. Okay. You. Oh, man, I'm definitely gonna be butchering this language. EO. EO. EI. EIO. Yeah, old McMorrow had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. And on his farm, he has some Korean words that he cannot pronounce. Okay. Gyo, Yug, E, now Isoin. Geos, you, Hawan, you go. Yeon, yeah, Yan Habinita. Eo, Leo Bun Motu Gayang Ili Mios Inji Mols Lolilu Lol. Okay, once I thought this last part of the word is spelling lol. Okay. Gil Gil use Salzizue Mulgion Ilu Gaijio Dio. Oh man! I'm really possibly gonna have to learn Korean. You sound like you're having a stroke. Yes, you're right. You might be right about that, Epa, but don't worry, I am not having a stroke. It is just, I cannot pronounce these words. Very good. Maybe someone in the chat would be able to help me out in pronunciations of these words. Where was I at? Oh yeah, this one over here. Sasil Gua Mulgian Il Gagio Da Wemas. Oh, jeez. And I. Okay, maybe speaking Japanese would have been more. Okay, that's not okay. I'm gonna try my best not to come up with jokes so much. I guess knowing how it is these days. You say a joke and it'll be taken out of context. So yeah. Okay, Dave Wa. Okay, Dave Wa. It's a yeo ham yeo bangwa hameke geo jasin iru Gion Gion Gioi Hungman Now Ibnita Jamie Sachi, something like that. Nulja. Okay. Okay, I think I didn't do that bad. I really did not think that I would do that bad, everyone. I'm gonna go ahead and just pat myself on the back for that one. Oh man. Alright. Oh man. People might be having a lot of fun in the comments section later. See how Marlo struggles with saying Korean words. But today, we are here to have some fun learning about South Korea. Luckily I'm not on Twitch, because if I was on Twitch, I'm possibly going to get bombarded by people in chat. Because some of you may know that there is indeed Korean Twitch streamers. So let's go ahead and try our best not to have their fans to be on me. Alright, so I have this here notepad. Notepad I put down for links to put down after the stream is over to give people for the credit for their work. So let's go ahead and start with 101 facts about South Korea.
Step 1, open the BetMGM Sportsbook. Step 2, get in on the act.
Greetings, motherfuckers. My name is Sam, and today I'm going to be talking to you all about the best Korea, South Korea. You guys have been requesting South Korea for a long time now, and we finally caved in, proving once and for all that peer pressure is an effective means of getting exactly what you want. But how?
Alright, so copy this. You can copy this, and I will put it here for me to put later. There you go.
How has a popular American TV show affected the Korean language? What do Koreans say instead of cheese when taking a photo? And what is a BTS? Is it it sounds bad. Oh god, I've got BTS, haven't I? I haven't got long. Please just tell my girlfriend I love her and to destroy my computer. That's very important, that second bit. Anyway, 2 out of 3 of those questions are going to be answered, so chock on your hanbok and do a shot of soju to prepare yourself for some terrible pronunciation.
What in the world? Okay, what was that again? What was that? What in the world was that?
2 out of 3 of those questions are going to be answered, so chock on your hanbok.
Hanbok. Okay, let me go to Google Images. What in the world is a hanbok? Am I spelling it right? Okay, hanbok, Korea. Oh, that's a nice dress. That is a very pretty dress. Oh, that is very pretty. Oh, that's cool. Okay, that is awesome. Someone down in Korea, please send me a PM. Send me a PM. I really want to get one of these. I want to get this. I want to get this kind of attire. Because that is so pretty cool looking. It kind of reminds me of... Well, I think I remember I watched a... what was that? Oh yeah, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I could definitely play an awesome Levubai with this. But still, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon is indeed an awesome movie. And also this suit is awesome. But man, that is an... oh, I like that. I like that one. Man, darn it. Okay. Jeez. Man, that is awesome. Okay.
And do a shot of Soji.
Soji. What in the world is Soji? Soji. Soji alcohol. Soju. Okay, so I guess it's soju. Soju alcohol. Okay, soju. Is it soju or is it really soji? It is a clear, colorless, distilled alcoholic beverage of Korean origin. It usually consumed neat, and its alcohol content varies from 16.8% to 53.53% alcohol by volume. What the crap? Oh man, what the crap, South Korea? Do you have to be effing kidding me? Jeez. 16.8 to 53% alcohol? Americans cannot have that. Over the years, I've been doing some research on alcohol percentages in the United States. Maybe it updated since then, since the last time I did do some research, but there is no effing way that that any alcohol store could be able to sell 16.8% alcohol up to 53%. Maybe it changed from the last time I checked. Jeez. Okay, okay, I think we're good. Okay.
To prepare yourself for some terrible pronunciations, because, you know, that's my forte, as we give you 101...
Yeah, I agree. I agree with this guy. You all have seen me in the beginning of the stream trying to pronounce Korean words. So, yeah.
Fun facts about South Korea.
Okay.
Number 1. South Korea, officially the Republic of Korea, is a country in East Asia, constituting the southern part of the Korean peninsula, which is this dangly bit here. Look at it. Look at it. Number 2.
Nice.
As you can see, South Korea shares a land border with its evil twin, North Korea. To the west is the Yellow Sea and mainland China, and lying east is across from the Sea of Japan and the Korea Strait. Directly south is
Tsushima! There it is! Tsushima, baby!
East China Sea, which opens up to the Philippine Sea and Pacific Ocean. Number 3. The name Korea is derived from Koguryo, which was a powerful ancient kingdom that was established on and around the Korean peninsula in 37 BC, lasting for over 700 years. Number 4.
Jeez.
The name Koguryo means high and clear, which is nice. However, a slightly more poetic interpretation of the name Korea is land of high mountains and sparkling streams, which is also nice.
Oh, that's awesome. I would love to
Number
see a
5.
sparkling stream.
South Korea has a total land mass of around 38,750 square miles. That makes South Korea roughly the same size as the US state of Indiana, which is now something you know. You're welcome.
Okay. So what this guy is saying is that the entire country of South Korea is the size of Indiana. Wow. Okay, so it looks like that America is big enough to fit several countries in. Jeez.
Number 6. South Korea also includes over 3,000 islands. Most located
3,000
on the
islands?
rugged southern coast.
I would love to be on one of them.
Sexily. By far the largest of these islands is Jeju, located in the Korea Strait.
Jeju.
Number 7. South Korea lies in the North Temperate Zone and tends to have a humid continental and subtropical climate. The country has a predominantly mountainous terrain, with arable lowlands constituting only 30% of the total land area. That basically means they can't grow food there. Number 8. Not only that, the vast majority of South Korea's land is covered in trees, as 64% of the country is forested. That's pretty
sweet.
tremendous, eh? God, why am I like this? Number 9.
I love
the
the
human
trees.
component of South Korea is comprised of an estimated 51.4 million people, or roughly 25.7 million
Jeez.
people post-Thanos. Number 10. God. South Korea.
Okay. So it looks like is that this guy is saying that South Korea, which is like a state, which is like as smaller, or I don't even know, it's like perhaps the exact size of the state of Indiana, and it can fit 25, let's see, how much?
Component of South Korea is comprised of an estimated 51.4
million people to fit in an area that is at like the size of Indiana. That is insane. I think that is like in a technical form of putting so many Christmas presents inside one box. Well, not exactly like that, but you get the metaphor though. It's like it's so much people inside one area. Dang.
1.4 million people, or roughly 25.7 million people post-Thanos. Number 10. God. South Korea's largest city and capital is Seoul, which has a population of roughly 10 million people. That means that 1 in every 5 South Koreans live in the capital.
Okay. People down in South Korea, what I'm about to say is a joke. Okay. And what I'm about to say is... Okay, I gotta put this thing in the right way. Okay, never mind. I'll try my best not to use that one.
A further 15 million people live within the Seoul capital area, meaning roughly half of all South Koreans live within this metropolitan area.
Okay, wait. You're telling me that half of the people of South Korea lives in Seoul? That is insane. That is totally insane. That would be like having a similarity of having half of the United States. Half of the United States live in DC. Jeez, man.
Number 11. In addition, roughly 2.1 million South Koreans live in the good old US of A, mostly in cities like New York, Chicago, and Seattle.
Wait a minute,
First
what?
Koreans began immigrating to the In addition, that means that 1 in every 5 South Koreans live in the
1 in 5 South Koreans live in the U.S.
capital. A further 15 million people live within the Seoul capital area. meaning roughly half of all South Koreans live within this metropolitan area. Number 11. In addition, roughly 2.1 million South Koreans
2.1 million Okay. 2.1 million South Koreans live in the U.S.
live in the good old U.S. of A. Mostly in cities like New York, Chicago, and...
Oh, that reminds me. I was gonna go ahead and do an education day about New York and stereotype the crap out of New Yorkers. I am allowed to do that because I'm an American, and Americans always stereotype New Yorkers.
Seattle. The first Koreans began immigrating to the United States in 1903, more than half of which emigrated to the islands of Hawaii in order to work on sugar and pineapple plantations.
Nice!
Number 12. Archaeological evidence suggests that early humans first inhabited the Korean peninsula roughly 500,000 years ago. That's almost 500,001 years ago, people. That's a lot. Number 13.
That's a lot, yeah.
Later on, the Korean peninsula was settled by Tungusic-speaking peoples who migrated from Manchuria and Siberia. These groups formed the dominant ethnic foundation of the Korean people and spoke languages that eventually developed into modern Korean. Well done to them.
Nice! Okay.
The first recognizable political state to arise in the Korean peninsula was the Kojo-son. The affix Ko, meaning ancient, distinguishes it from the later Joseon dynasty, which we'll get to later, my impatient little darlings. Kojoseon was founded in 2333 BC in the north by the legendary figure of Dangun, who is said to have been the offspring of a heavenly prince and female bear that had been transformed into a woman. I mean, sure, whatever works, I guess. What? Number 15. Kojo-son mostly covered what is now North Korea.
Okay, wait, I mean, what?
Been transformed into a woman. I mean, Joseon was founded in...
Okay, so it seems as that there is a legend in South Korea where it seems as that a bear transformed into a human. Shape-shifting much? The next time I look at a lady, this is a joke. And what I'm about to say is a joke. Is that the next time I see a lady, I am going to make sure that I'm going to make sure to see if they're not a bear. And I'm possibly gonna, I'm gonna make sure that the next random lady or something like that, when you get, stupid ideas in your head, Moro. Well, you get the idea. I try my best not to get attracted to bears.
2333 BC
Okay.
in the north by the legendary figure of Dangun, who is said to have been the offspring of a heavenly prince and female bear that had been transformed into a woman. I mean, sure.
A bear transformed into a woman?
Number 15.
Okay.
Kojo-son mostly covered what is now North Korea and the Chinese region of Manchuria, but it stands as the foundation of modern Korea, so I felt it was worth mentioning. One of the earliest states to form in what we now know as South Korea is the state of Jin. Not that kind of Jin.
Jin.
Which was established no later than the 3rd century, they say.
Whether you're curling,
that'll be my kind of gin.
running,
I'm kidding.
riding, lifting, or lunging.
Okay.
Balance.
Number 16. By roughly the 1st century BC, Kojoseon had developed into a league of tribes in an area of the Taedong and Liao rivers. They eventually evolved into 3 main rival kingdoms. Oh, it's like Game of Thrones, isn't it? Kokuryo, Pekche, and Shi.
Okay, so basically what he is saying right here is that there is indeed a Game of Thrones kind of scenario in South Korea many, many, many years ago.
Gila. This was known as the Three Kingdoms period because it was a period of time in which there were 3 kingdoms. I thought you'd have got that on your own, but I explained it anyway. Number 17. The 3 kingdoms were also joined by the Kaya Confederacy, which was a collection of city-states located on the central section of the Korean Peninsula's southern coast. The Kaya Confederacy managed to stay independent for hundreds of years throughout the 3 kingdoms period, because it was a funky little polity that did its own thing. Number 18.
Okay, so what it is saying is that the 3 kingdoms period, I don't know for sure, but it sounds like that the Gaia just said F off to both the kingdoms, saying that they would not join the Confederacy. So he told the other 2 kingdoms to go F off, so Gaia could do their own thing.
However, the Gai Confederacy never fully developed into a centralized kingdom, and those utter rotbags in the Shilla Kingdom eventually annexed the Gai Confederacy in 562 AD. Those ratbags. Number 19. Over an 8-year period between 660 and 668 AD, the Kingdom of Shilla conquered and unified the Korean Peninsula with the assistance of China under the Tang dynasty. This formed the later Shilla Kingdom and for the first time created a united Korean identity. Number 20. However, the state's rigid class system caused stagnation and unrest in later Shilla, and in 892 AD the kingdom fractured. This resulted in the re-emergence of the previous kingdom. This formed the later Shilla Kingdom and for the first time created a united Korean identity. Number 20. However,
Alright, so this here. Okay, so I understand. Okay, so what we have here is a class system, even back then. Okay, so they have a class system even back then. Like, for instance, it looks like it says that the Nabi, or Nobi, yeah, I think Nobi, where slaves are serfs. So, I can only suspect that they're like people who wait the high-class people hand and foot. And then, of course, we got the Untouchables, which I thought that this would be here. And this would be here. I don't understand. Okay, so Bake Geogong. Bake Geogong. Untouchables. What does that mean? Okay, untouchable, that's like you're so up there that people can't touch you. I'm a vulgar commoner. Yeah, me too, Epip.
the state's rigid class system caused stagnation and unrest in later Shilla, and in 892 AD the kingdom fractured. This resulted in the re-emergence of the previous kingdoms Kokiryo and Pekje, in what is sensibly known as the later Three Kingdoms period, because, well, you know by now. Number 21. In 918, the leader of later Kokiryo was ousted by a dude named, and by the way, yes, this is completely legit, I'm not making this up, his name was Wang Kon, okay? Wang, big...
Oh man, I get it. People, perhaps luckily my Twitch chat, not my Twitch chat, but my YouTube chat is not that busy. But I can only assume that people in the chat would definitely be having a good time in order to say Wang.
Space Con. Anyway, Wang Kon went to conquer Pekje and Shilla, unifying the country once more under a new name, the Koryo Dynasty. This was the first truly unified Korean state in the history of the Korean Peninsula. Number 22. Despite a brief period between 1170 and 1270, in which the government was controlled by military
100 years,
experienced several Mongol
fencing,
invasions, Koryo existed as an unbroken dynasty that ruled Korea for 474 years.
Jeez.
Number 23. The Koryo dynasty fell in 1392 and was replaced by the Chosun dynasty, which lasted an impressive 518 years. That's almost 519 years, people. And that's math.
Jeez.
Number 24. In the 1590s, the Korean peninsula was twice invaded by the Japanese in a conflict that is collectively known as the Injin War. Japan's forces were repelled by the ingenious military tactics of Admiral Yi Sun-chin, who was never defeated at sea nor lost a single ship under his command to enemy action.
I don't know what to think of that.
Sun-chin is considered one of history's greatest naval commanders. Even greater, perhaps, than the naval commander of my heart, Jennifer Lawrence. Yeah, one expected.
Naval commander of Jennifer Lawrence?
In 1897, the Joseon dynasty changed the official name of the country from the Kingdom of Joseon to the Empire of Korea, in the misplaced hope of an auspicious future that wouldn't be completely upended only 13 years later. Number 26. Only 13 years later, however, Japan finally annexed Korea in 1910, bringing the Korean Empire and its monarchy to an end. The Japanese exercised strict colonial control over the Korean people and forced them to speak Japanese and practice Shintoism. Number 27.
Okay, that I didn't know. I guess people were messed up back then too, forcing people to do things against their nature. Oh, okay, Mom. Okay.
I hope you're ready for a sad, serious voice, because these are dark facts, people. During World War II, approximately 5,400,000 Koreans were conscripted by the Japanese to alleviate labour shortages that developed as a result of the conscription of Japanese males. Roughly
Jeez.
670,000 of these were taken to Japan, where they were forced to work under appalling conditions, leading to roughly 60,000
Yep, definitely messed
It's
up.
estimated that between 270,000 and 810,000 Korean forced labourers in Korea and Manchuria also died during this period. Number 28. The Imperial Japanese Army also abducted from their homes nearly 200,000 women, over 80% of whom were Korean, and forced them to work as slaves for Japanese soldiers. Known as comfort women, they were sent across China and Southeast Asia, and were subjected to the
That's not
brutality one would
cool.
expect from forced female slaves. Roughly 3/4 of these women died during the war. Number 29. At the end of World War II, Korea was released from the Japanese colonial rule when Japan surrendered to Soviet and US forces, who occupied the northern and southern halves of Korea respectively. Despite an initial plan to unify Korea, failed negotiations and escalating Cold War hostility between the United States and Soviet Union eventually led to the establishment of two separate and ideologically distinct governments. Uh-oh. Number 30. In what is known as the Division of Korea, a separate election held...
Okay, so what this thing is saying is... Okay, so what this guy is saying is that it looks like is that the US and the Soviet Union was continuing to have conflicts. They tried to... I guess they tried to negotiate, but the negotiate just went... It thus became two Koreas.
Held in the US zone in 1948, created the pro-West Republic of Korea in southern Korea, now commonly known as, you guessed it, South Korea. In the north, the Soviets appointed communist Kim Il-sung as the leader of North Korea, which has since become infamous as pretty much the worst place on earth. Sorry, not sorry. Number 31. Both Koreas then pursued authoritarian repression of dissent within their respective regions, with each considering themselves to be the true descendant of historical Korea. A bit like, you know, in a psych ward when you get all these people thinking they're Jesus, like that.
Okay, so I guess I can understand. Maybe? Okay, so I can only assume. It's like, I guess, I don't know for sure, but please let me know in the chat. It looks like from what they're saying, from what he is saying, is that it looks like is that South Korea is like saying, I'm the true Korea. And then you have the people on the other side saying, no, I'm the true Korean.
Tensions continued to flare, and on the 25th of June 1950, North Korea invaded South Korea, sparking the Korean War. The conflict, which involved the United States, China, the Soviet Union, and several other nations, lasted for 3 years until reaching a stalemate in 1953, by which point roughly 1.2 million people had already died. Number 32.
Jeez!
At this point, the two Koreas agreed to create the Korean Demilitarized Zone, a buffer zone between the two countries that remains the most heavily fortified border on Earth. The 4-kilometer wide border, commonly abbreviated to DMZ, stretches 245 kilometers across the Korean peninsula from the Yellow Sea to the Sea of Japan. Number 33. In the decades since the division of Korea, between 100,000 and 300,000 people have made the perilous decision to escape from North Korea, most of whom fled to Russia or China. Roughly 30,000 North Koreans eventually made their way to South Korea. By comparison, very few South Koreans have ever defected to the north. Number 34. As a result of the demilitarized zone's creation, much of the natural wildlife and rare plants along the border have remained untouched for over 60 years. This has allowed unique species of plants and wild animals to flourish, such that the area is now recognized as one of the most well-preserved areas of temperate habitat in the world.
F yeah, that is awesome.
Though North and South Korea signed a ceasefire in 1953, the conflict never officially ended, meaning North Korea and South Korea are technically still at war. However, Kim Jong-un and Moon Jae-in met in the DMZ in April of 2018, officially signifying the end of the war. Number 36.
That's awesome.
There's no better place to bet the NBA than on FanDuel Sportsbook. Bet every game, all...
Following the Korean War, South Korea struggled with political instability and autocratic governments well into the 1980s. It wasn't until a former army general named Roh Tae-woo won the country's first free presidential election in 1987, following a period of military rule, that South Korea finally transitioned away from its turbulent past. Number 37. South Korea is now a presidential republic consisting of 17 sexy little administrative...
Okay, so a presidential republic. What in the world is a presidential republic? Okay, presidential republic. Okay, presidential system. What does presidential republic mean? It's a period in history of Chile spanning between the appropriation of the 1925 Constitution, 1925, to the fall of the Popular Unity Government. Okay, so I guess that, I can only guess that it must have been how we got here in the US. We vote for presidents, I guess.
divisions. Of these, 9 are provinces similar to US states, and 8 are special or metropolitan cities. Number 38. In 2012, South Korea elected Park Geun-hye as their first ever female president. In doing so, she became the first female president popularly elected as head of state in East Asia. Good times. Number 39. However, in 2017, Park Geun-hye was later impeached and ultimately sentenced to 24 years in prison after she was found guilty on multiple counts of abuse of power, bribery, and coercion. Bad times.
Oh, that... Wow. Okay. Okay, so there was bribery, corruption, and what else?
Geun-hye as their first ever female president. In doing so, she became the first female president popularly elected as head of state in East Asia. Good times. Number 39. However, in 2017, Park Geun-hye was later impeached and ultimately sentenced to 24 years in prison after she was found guilty on multiple counts of abuse of power.
Abuse of power, bribery, and what else?
Bribery and coercion.
Okay, abuse of power, bribery, and coercion. Wow. Not even the US presidents would ever get away with stuff like that. Jeez. Man, it's like here in the US, if there was ever a president that would do stuff like what she did, heads will roll. Jeez, I'm hoping that I really am hoping that no president in the US is like that. Freaking bribery, coercion, abuse of power. Man, I'm hoping that no president would ever be like that.
Bad times. Number 40. Both North and South Koreans speak Korean. Korean consists of 14 consonants and 10 vowels, and is written with an alphabetic writing.
Alright, and here is another fact. US and the UK also speaks English. But knowing that in the UK, the UK are the inventors of the English language, so they know how to say proper English. Where I'm from, it's a different kind of English. Like, for instance, FAG is cigarette in Britain, but FAG in the United States is a bad word.
Writing system known as Hangul, which was personally developed by King Seon the Great in the 15th century. Prior to that, Korean was written using Chinese characters. Number 41. In fact, more than half of Korean vocabulary is ultimately derived from Chinese, which reflects the influence that China had on Korea over the past few thousand years or so. Those Chinese dudes really get around. The meaning of life. One of the most common ways to ask someone how they are in South Korea is to say, "Have you eaten well?" I wish more people asked me that instead of just looking.
Okay, so that's basically what it's saying. You shake a person's hand and you're like saying, "Hey, what's up, man?" You give him a handshake, you like you do this and and stuff like that. And you say, "Hey, what's up, man?" Or, "Yo, what's up?" And you'd be like, or "How's it hanging?" You'd be like, "It's a little to the right."
Keep me in assuming I have. Oh, the chubs. Number 43. Amazingly, the Korean word for Swiss
Army knives,
is
hell yeah.
Kal. Kal is an entirely Korean word meaning knife, but Meikaibo is derived from the title character of the iconic American TV series MacGyver.
MacGyver,
Wow,
F yeah.
Big fan of this fact. Number 44. Funnily enough,
The
the Korean
room.
phrase for light a cigarette literally translates to attach fire to a cigarette. That actually makes sense in an excruciatingly literal sort of way. Number
Hashtag lit.
45. The current flag of South Korea incorporates symbols and philosophies of Buddhism and Taoism, with a red and blue yin-yang surrounded by 4 symbols representing heaven, earth, fire, and water. The flag is
Nice.
known as Taeyukji, which literally means Supreme Ultimate Flag. Number 46.
Supreme Ultimate
The
Flag,
Hibiscus
F
syriacus,
yeah.
a flowering plant species also known as the Rose of Sharon. Who's Sharon? Is South Korea's national flower, where it's known as Mugang.
Sharon's a...
The flower is even mentioned in the national anthem.
Okay. I think I should be safe in order for me to make a joke about a flower. If anyone out there in the chat who was named Sharon, please let them know that you are indeed a precious flower in South Korea.
Anthem, so yeah, it's a pretty important flower, you guys. Number 47. Both the tiger and rabbit are important entities of Korean folklore, and are found throughout Korean folktales and art. Some Koreans
Yeah, makes
say the
sense.
Korean peninsula is shaped like a tiger and others a rabbit. I mean, sort of, if you squint and ignore, like, a lot of it, and add ears, it doesn't really. Number 48. The most common family names in South Korea are Kim, Lee, and Park. More than a fifth of all South Koreans, in fact, have the last sort of, if you squint and ignore, like, a lot of it, and add ears, it doesn't really. Number 48. The most common...
Okay, right there. Sorry for pausing this, but as an American, I did try a couple times to eat with chopsticks. I couldn't do it. I really couldn't do it. It was difficult. Make. That is awesome, Epip. Yeah, that is entirely awesome, Epip. Okay. Alright. Now then, what was I saying? Oh yes. As an American, I tried to eat with chopsticks. I couldn't do it. Like, unless it's my hands, like, you know, my hands could be beefy, that my hand dexterity is not that good. That in order for me to pick stuff up with chopsticks, I don't know. Please let me know in the chat if someone out there can teach me how to use chopsticks.
Common family names in South Korea are Kim, Lee, and Park. More than a fifth of all South Koreans, in fact, have the last name Kim.
It's a food. Chicken beer. Chicken beer? Okay, now we're gonna check this out. Alright, let's head on over to Google Images. Okay, Google Images for that. Okay, chicken, beer, and missiles. Favorite K-Town comfort food. Chomek, Korean chicken, fried chicken, and beer. Oh, nice. Okay. That definitely... okay. Yeah, okay. Epip also said, I would starve if I had to eat with chopsticks. Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too, Epip. Me too. Okay. Okay, now then, what was I about to say? Oh yeah, what could be? What that chicken beer thing is definitely like the ultimate thing. Like if you're going over to Popeyes or any other place that has a chicken sandwich or just chicken in general, and you have beer with that, that's a match made in heaven.
Number 49. According to the... Number 48. The most common family names in South Korea are Kim, Lee, and Park. More than a fifth of all South Koreans, in fact, have the last name Kim. Number 49. According to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, South Korea has the highest estimated national IQ in the world.
Okay. Okay, so judging by this, it's saying that South Korea has the second highest IQ in the world. Am I hearing that right?
Number 49. According to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, South Korea has the highest estimated national IQ in the world.
Yep. South Korea is full of smart people. What the frick? No wonder they get fancy looking buildings like these, because there's a whole bunch of smart people living there. Well, look at this thing over here. That's a very fancy looking building.
World. The country with the lowest IQ is... Oh, wow. Okay, no.
Oh, I know what you're about to say. I know what you're about to say, mister. About the lowest IQ.
Nope, not reading that. Far too controversial. True.
Yep, I know what you're about to say. And luckily that you didn't say it, otherwise it'll possibly hashtag canceled for that.
But controversial. Moving on.
Yeah.
Number 50. South Koreans are some of the most overworked people on Earth. In 2018, the South Korean government was...
Okay, so this guy is saying that South Koreans are perhaps one of the most overworked people in the world. Same thing here in the States. In a way. Like for instance, a lot of people go from maybe 2, perhaps even 3 jobs in order to make ends meet. And also I have been hearing stories that they are raising the retirement age of when people can retire. I don't know if it's true or not, but yeah.
Was forced to pass legislation introducing a maximum 52-hour work week, down from a punishing 68 hours previously.
Okay, so luckily that the South Korean government knows that people working 60 hours a week, it is never a good thing. People need to take a break.
Number 51. Although South Korea enjoys very high living standards, suicide is a serious and widespread problem.
Jeez!
In fact, South Korea has the highest suicide rate in the developed world, according to the World Health Organization.
Okay, I am sorry, I didn't know. Jeez, I guess that's what happens for being overworked. But I'm sorry that has to happen to people in South Korea. Dang, I'm sorry about that. I'm hoping that everyone in South Korea is doing fine.
Number 52. South Korea boasts the world's fastest wireless speeds on the planet, though, with an average download speed of 33.5 megabits per second. That's nearly 3 times the average speed of...
What the F word? Let me hear that again.
The speeds on the planet, though, with an average download speed of 33.5 megabits per second.
33.5 megabits a second download. You have got to be effing kidding me. megabits a second download. Man, how... It's like, okay, how can I explain this? Like, if any of you out there may have downloaded like an 80 gigabyte game, and that it would take about 50 minutes, even if it's like 12 gigabytes, maybe even 5 to 10 gigabytes for download. That's if there's nothing else on. But 33 gigabytes, 33.5 gigabytes a second, that's essentially like downloading an 80 gigabyte game in 5 minutes. Perhaps less than 5 minutes. Jeez.
That's nearly 3 times the average speed of second place Hong Kong. Number 53. Not only that, an incredible 99.2...
Oh, it definitely does make sense for Hong Kong to be the number 1 in internet speed. It makes sense.
2% of all South Koreans have broadband access.
Broadband
Number 54.
access?
South Koreans are also some of the biggest smartphone users in the world. As of 2013, 78.5% of the South Korean population had a smartphone. Among 18 to 24-year-olds, that figure jumps to 97.7%. Hello if you're watching, gang. According to the South Korean National Information Agency, 14% of South Koreans between the ages of 9 and 12 are addicted to the internet. In 2011, South Korea passed a law...
What? You can't it be addicted to MySpace? Oh man, internet addiction. Ah, okay. Yeah, okay. So this guy's gonna go down that route with this fact. So this is so brave of him to do.
Called the Shutdown Law that bans anyone younger than 16 from accessing online game sites between...
Yep, it's definitely a lot like that. It's like, I know, it's like, if someday I would have a kid, I am definitely gonna make sure, and I'm definitely gonna make sure that if I were to have a kid, my kid will not have a cell phone until he is 18, he or she is 18. Yeah, I'll go ahead and give my kid a cell phone, but I will not get my kid a smartphone. Yeah, I'll get him or her a smartphone until he or she reaches 18. But other than that, my daughter or my son is going to be receiving a cell phone, not a smartphone.
Between midnight and 6 a.m. Number 56. Not only that, in 1999, South Korea passed a law requiring all online shopping and banking to be done using Internet Explorer. As of 2016...
What? South Korea, you have got to be effing kidding me. Who in the world uses Internet Explorer? Who the frick would use Internet Explorer? See, I got Internet Explorer right here, but I don't use it. Some people even made a meme about Internet Explorer. People were putting up memes saying, "Why in the world is this piece of crap on my taskbar? Get rid of it." And people usually go on over to Internet Explorer in order to download Google. Yeah, in order to download Google Chrome. So this here Internet Explorer is mostly used to download Google Chrome.
Seeing that law is still in place, which I genuinely consider an abuse of human rights. Number 57. By law, every South Korean man is obliged to perform 21 months of military training at the age of 28, which seems sexist in 2018, but hey-ho, whatevs. Aside from those with disabilities, the only South Korean men who are exempt from conscription are successful Olympic athletes and footballers. Number 58.
What?
South Korea has a controversial with disabilities, the only South Korean men who are exempt from conscription.
Okay, so it looks like that football player. Okay, so football players are. Okay, so it's athletes and football players who are excused from serving in the military. Okay.
Description are successful Olympic
Yep. Successful. Yeah, successful Olympic athletes and football players. So basically, I can only assume it means that high-end people cannot serve in the military in South Korea. I can only suspect. Um, Mozilla Firefox. That's a good internet explorer thing. Got a little Firefox.
athletes and footballers. Number 58. South Korea has a controversial national security law which forbids citizens from showing support for North Korea in any context. In 2016, a 73-year-old South Korean man was sentenced to a year in prison for praising the North on his blog years previously. Number 59.
Wow. Okay, so let's just say, for instance, it's like here in the States, if you were to, let's say, that you would support your personal preference to a political party, and that political party might say something like, you cannot show your support for the other political party. Oh man, it's like you can't show your support for this other political party, otherwise you'll be thrown in prison for a year. Maybe not exactly like that, but I guess it could have some similarities. Jeez.
Adultery was only legalized in South Korea in 2015.
Ugh. 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 Adultery? Adultery. Ugh. Okay, let me hear it again.
9. Adultery was only legalized in South Korea in 2015. Prior to that, the crime of cheating on one's
Christian sentence. South Korea, sexy lady. Ugh. Okay, if I am indeed correct about adultery, it is basically, and please correct me if I'm wrong. Adultery is like having a patient and a doctor having a relationship with each other. Oh man. Having a doctor and a patient. I know that patients and doctors and patients need to have a relationship, but not like this. You want it to be like shake hands kind of thing. Not this. Jeez.
husband or wife was punishable by up to 2 years in prison. Number 60. South Korea is known for a fairly unique practice within its criminal justice system, in which people suspected of crimes such as murder are taken back to the scene of the crime, where they are forced to recreate it in public. Not
What the? Okay. Ah. Oh man. I needed a laugh. Okay. South Korea. Are you trying? Okay, I shouldn't be joking about this, but this is something similar to what Sherlock Holmes would have done. Recreate the crime scene and put Watson as the potential playing the role of a potential murderer, and then Watson would recreate the scene, and Sherlock Holmes put the pieces together. Oh man. Forced to be creative. Yeah, Epa. Forced to recreate it in public. What if the person that you forced to recreate the murder scene is actually the murderer? Wow. The murderer would definitely be very embarrassed. He or she will be so embarrassed that they would be like saying, "Hands up!" Holy crap!
Not only that, the media is often invited to take pictures and publish details about the crime too. It's weird.
Okay, so so it looks like even the journalist would have to put up a very detailed, and take pictures of the crime scene. Okay. Jeez, that person who would create the crime scene would definitely be winning an Oscar for the best supporting actor.
Number 61. South Korea is the largest market for plastic surgery per capita in the world, with some estimates suggesting that 1 in 5 women in Seoul have gone under the knife for at least one cosmetic procedure. Number 62.
Okay, so it looks like this guy is saying is that there's a whole bunch of ladies in South Korea who, at least, from what it looks like, has taken plastic surgery. So, okay, FF said, so if you do something so bad, you should never do it. They make you do it over again in public.
One of the most common plastic surgery procedures
Yeah, you're right.
in South Korea is eyelid surgery, in which the skin around the eye is reshaped.
Yeah. Eyelid surgery? Who the F word would get eyelid surgery?
To create a crease in the upper eyelid. This procedure is controversial, as many people suggest it's done to appeal to Western beauty standards. Even so, the surgery...
Yeah, that really doesn't appeal to me very much. Like, it's like, how can I say it? If I were to find okay. It's like in the US, if I were to say to a lady, say, "Hey lady, are those eyes real?" If I were to say that, I would be slapped. I would get beaten up, and I'll get slapped, I'll get beaten up, and I'll be called all different sorts of names for actually saying things like that.
So popular that some wealthy South Koreans receive double eyelid surgery on their 16th birthday. Number 63.
Jeez.
If sweat is your body's natural way of...
South Korean men are particularly evolved when it comes to makeup, with as many as 1 in...
Okay, so guys can definitely wear makeup. Yes, they can. I would know. I used to dress up as Dracula for Halloween. You know, Dracula in vampire form. So I had to look pale.
5 South Korean gents reporting to using makeup regularly. In fact, men in South Korea spend close to 90 million US dollars a year on
Okay, so South Korea is buying makeup, so much makeup that it would make that the makeup industry would end up making 90 million US dollars. That is insane.
makeup. Nintendo 64. The national dish of South
Nintendo
Korea is
64,
kimchi,
yeah,
which
good
is a combination
system.
of fermented vegetables and spice. The first written description of making kimchi dates to the 13th century, and today there are literally hundreds of different varieties of the dish.
Nice.
Number 65. Kimchi is so popular in South Korea that when
Kimchi.
taking a photo,
I
South
never
Koreans
tried
say
kimchi.
instead of cheese, which
Oh,
implies
it's
that kimchi is better
cheese?
than cheese, which it isn't, because literally nothing is better than cheese.
Yeah,
Number
definitely.
66. Although it may be shocking to other nations around the world, dog meat has been eaten in South Korea for centuries, and is still served in certain Korean restaurants and street markets today.
Okay, that would definitely. Okay, I've been doing a lot of research over the years, and I came to a conclusion that definitely that I don't know if it's true or not. Perhaps things change over time, but I did in fact do some research, and it does seem that Taiwan eats that. Once again, I don't know for sure. Maybe things have changed. But I do recall I did in fact look up a few articles, I looked up a few books, and I looked up a few videos on it many years ago. That the people in Taiwan eats bugs. I think you can also find it on YouTube. I kind of wanted to know. Well, there is a such thing called chocolate-covered grasshoppers. I know that for a fact. So yeah, there is a thing called edible bugs. So I guess from that point of view, of seeing people eat dog, I'm really gonna have to go down into South Korea for me to really experience it, but as of right now, I'm not sure what to think of that.
However, this practice has become increasingly controversial in recent decades, and contrary to popular belief, only a very small percentage of South Koreans have actually tried it.
Ah,
Number 67. Incredibly,
okay.
only 3.2% of South Koreans are overweight, which makes them one of the least obese nations.
Okay, so had to rub it in, South Korea. You really had to rub it in. That even is like here in the US, we're surrounded by so much awesome food that sometimes it just can't contain our appetites. But judging by this, it looks like that 3.2% of the people in South Korea are overweight. Jeez.
On the planet. Number 68. The most popular type of alcohol in South Korea is soju, a clear distilled
Oh,
beverage
it's
with a
soju. Man, in the beginning of the video, mister, you said soji.
that's traditionally made from rice, wheat, or barley. The alcohol content of soju varies from about 70% all the way up to 53%, and is usually consumed neat. Neat.
Jeez.
Number 69.
I don't know what neat is.
Denizens of the nation's capital of Seoul are tied with the people of Tokyo as the most sleep-deprived city slickers in the world. Do you know how?
And I thought that New York has competition for the city that never sleeps. But nope, it seems that Seoul, South Korea, and Tokyo, Japan are definitely competing against New York for the most sleepless city. So come on, New York, step your game up.
Inhabitants of both cities get the least amount of sleep of any residents of major cities on Earth, at less than 6 hours of sleep a night. Number 70.
Okay, that's still good.
In Korean, the word Seoul literally means capital city. I'm starting to get the impression that Koreans are fairly literal people. Number 71. Seoul is home to Lot World, a major recreation complex that houses the world's largest indoor theme park.
What? Well, let me see that. Let me see that. Whoa. Okay, that is cool. So this is the world's largest indoor water park. I mean, I don't know if it's an indoor water park. Matter of fact, it could be an indoor theme park. And then I guess there's some kind of monorail that gets you towards over here. Jeez, that's cool. I would love to go see that.
Seoul is home to Lot World, a major recreation complex that houses the world's largest indoor theme park. The complex also contains shopping malls, a luxury hotel, a mono facilities, and cinemas, or as the Americans call it, movie theaters. Number 72. Tourists to South Korea are often drawn to Haesingnim Park, which is located in the northeast of the country. The pain is notable for containing roughly highly stylized statues of... You can see what that is. Which were erected to appease...
Is it really?
Tourists to South Korea are often drawn to Haesingnim Park.
Is it really?
Which is located in the northeast of the country. The pain is
Okay. Everybody in the chat, some of you may have sensitive eyes. Please look away. Luckily, that sub to Mr. Spicy Gaming is not here. What the crap? Okay, okay. I know what it looks like, and it really is. It really is what you all think it is. Without hair. and without the, okay, how in the world am I supposed to say it? Without the jingle bells. Yes, without hair and jingle bells. Holy crap. This here is the most phallic place that I have ever seen. Someone needs to get moist critical over here. Look at 18.52 of the video. Holy crap. I'm kidding, but seriously, I did watch a couple of moist critical videos. Moist critical videos, and it seems that he showed videos of, let's just call it objects.
notable for containing roughly highly stylized statues of... you can see what that
stylized?
is. Stylized?
Yeah, I know what it is. Yeah. Yeah. And there's even one over there, and perhaps there's one over there. Yep. Stylized phallic statues. Oh my god. Going to the world's first phallic museum. Like at the museum. A dozen ding-dongs. Yeah, FF. It is definitely ding-dongs.
Erected to appease a fabled virgin woman who drowned at sea.
What the?
It's best if you don't ask.
What the? What the? What the fudge?
Number 73. Similarly, the beaches of South Korea's largest island of Jeju are home to large stone statues called Dollarubang, meaning stone grandfather. These
Okay,
statues
that's
depict
awesome.
figures with bulging faces and suggestively shaped hats, which some have described as, what's the word? Phallic.
It's phallic.
It's a popular belief that if newlywed women touch the noses of these statues, they will be blessed with fertility.
Yes, I guess I can understand. Which is entirely awesome. No wonder they okay. Holy crap. Okay, okay. I'm really gonna have to catch up on South Korean culture. But praying to a statue that looks like a ding dong, which is entirely awesome looking. My new desktop picture.
The island of Jeju is also home to Halasan, a shield volcano and the tallest mountain in the country. Halasan measures up 4. The island of Jeju is also home to Halasan.
Right there. Like, look, there's even a new one right there. This is a joke. But knowing what the things that we saw back then, I can't help it but to say it. Yeongdong. Once again, sorry if I am laughing at the name, but it's just from the previous part that we have seen in this video.
A shield volcano and the tallest mountain in the country. Halasan measures up at an impressive 6,388 feet in height. Number 75. The island of Jeju is also home to the Henyo, or sea women, who are female divers
Sea
who
women?
hunt for sea urchins, abalone, and...
Sea women. Oh, F yeah. If I am indeed correct, if I am correct in my marine biology, I think they call dugongs. Yeah, I think they call dugongs, sea mermaids or sea women. Or something like that. Or they're talking about sirens. Not exactly sure.
and octopus without using breathing apparatus. This tradition of diving dates back to the 5th century, though it didn't become an exclusively female profession until the 17th century, when significant numbers of men died at war. Number 76. In a practice that probably seems slightly odd to most Westerners, roughly 60% of South Korean families use professionals to find a name for their babies, based on the Chinese zodiac. Number 77.
Okay, so it looks like from what this person is saying is that the person, I guess, got a professional to help with the baby name based on the Chinese zodiac. I guess that could be cool. I could be called Moro Dragon 13.
Apparently, however, South Koreans need to stop fussing over names to get back to boinking. According to a 2014 study commissioned by the National Legislature, at their current birth rate, South Koreans will go extinct by 2750. Yikes.
Okay, so basically what he is saying is that it looks like, according to some reports, that South Korea would be extinct by the year 20 what?
Koreans need to stop fussing over names to get back to boinking. According to a 2014 study commissioned by the National Legislature, at their current birth rate, South Koreans will go extinct by 27...
Okay, so so South Korea could become extinct in 2750. Okay, so 2750, and we are in 2020. So South Korea still has a lot of time. Yeah, South Korea still has a lot of time to do something about birth rates. To deal with before South Korea goes extinct.
750. Yikes. Number 78. Interestingly, South Koreans may not consider themselves to be the same age as foreigners born on the very same day. This is because in South Korea, babies are considered 1 year old at birth and turn 2 on the 1st of January. So if a baby is born on the 1st of December, which I'm told does happen from time to time, they'll turn 2 the very next day. That's like cheating to me. Number 7.
Yeah, it is cheating. It is definitely cheating. I don't think that in the U.S., man, every kid in the U.S. are going to wish that that was going to happen. Okay, what is that? Okay, let me go and copy link address and let's put it over here. Wow, Epip. You did. Okay. Alright, everything again.
79. Speaking of birthdays, a traditional birthday dish served in South Korea is seaweed soup.
Okay. What the guy said before is that if you were born on January 31st, you would be 1 year old. But the next day after January 31st, you would turn 2, which means that you would have twice as many birthdays in 1 year than anyone has ever gotten in the United States. Twice as much birthday cake and twice as much birthday gifts.
Soup. Ugh, I think I'll stick
Seaweed
with
soup
Colin
on
McCaffrey, thank you
birthdays?
very much. Number 80. When South Koreans reach the age of 60, they are often thrown a lavish party called a hwangap, which originated before the development of modern medicine when very few people lived to that age. It's also a significant birthday because the traditional Korean calendar is based on a 60-year cycle.
Okay. I gotta send that pic. That pic to my wife. She might laugh, but at the same time, you just say that it came from South Korea.
Number 81. Christmas is an official holiday in South Korea, as roughly a third of all South Koreans are Christians. However, the festival apparel worn by South Korean Santa Claus isn't red, but blue, or even more rarely, green. He is also known as Santa Clauso, which means Grandfather Santa. Number 82. In South Korea, April 14th is a holiday reserved for single people who did not receive gifts on Valentine's Day. The holiday is known as Black Day, which refers to the sticky black... He is also known as Santa Clauso, which means Grandfather Santa.
No!
Number 82. In South Korea, April 14th is a holiday reserved for...
Okay, I thought I misheard him. April 14th. April 14th is a day that's like Valentine's Day, except for it is people who didn't get gifts on Valentine's Day. Way to embarrass those people. Way to embarrass those people. For those who didn't get a girlfriend. Who didn't even get friends at all.
For single people who did not receive gifts on Valentine's Day. The holiday is known as Black Day, which refers to the sticky black noodles called jjajangmyeon, which are eaten in mourning of their lack of relationships.
What?
Oh, actually.
Okay, that does look tasty, but at the same time, yeah, that might look tasty, but I really don't know if it is tasty. Like we're talking about a dish that is eaten only at times when you have no relationships. So I don't even know if it would taste sweet, or would it taste sour, or would it taste ugh. But it does look rather tasty though.
Number 83. South Koreans celebrated the Harvest Moon Festival, known as Chuseok, by traveling
Harvest
back to their
Moon,
hometowns to visit
yeah.
and clean the graves of their ancestors, to which they bring gifts such as fine foods. Man, I wish I was...
Ooh, that is awesome! Happy Harvest Festival for the win.
...was a long-dead Korean ancestor, so people would bring me food.
Well, that would be awesome.
Originally conceived as a way to advertise mud cosmetics, South Korea's annual Boryong Mud Festival attracts millions of people from around the world every year.
Okay, that could be true, but in the US, there is indeed more mud festivals than ever. I have seen videos to prove it. Americans have more mud festivals than South Korea does.
For 10 whole days, mud enthusiasts partake in mud marathons, mud wrestling, and mud photo contests, as well as a nice relaxing mud massage, just to, take the edge off. Number 85. It's a popular belief in South Korea, as well as Japan and Taiwan, that one's blood type can determine a person's personality, character, and social compatibility.
Okay, so what this person is saying is that the people in South Korea can definitely come up with ways to judge a person by their blood type, like what their personality is. what their personality is, everything about that person between romantic compatibility, friendship, social, perhaps even social status, who knows, that it's based on your blood type.
This belief is so profoundly ingrained into Korean culture, it may even affect to whom a person decides to marry. Number 86. In South Korea, it's commonly believed that leaving an electric fan on overnight in an unventilated room will kill anyone inside sleeping.
That makes
Though
sense.
this belief is declining amongst younger Koreans, it remains a persistent superstition in Korean culture, despite literally zero evidence to support it. Number 87.
Yes, that is indeed true. Like, if you smell something nasty, you open the window and it'll ventilate.
Step 1, open the BetMGM Sportsbook. Step 2, get in on the action.
7. Of course, we can't talk about South Korea without mentioning the biggest event of 2012, Gangnam Style.
Oh
The
yeah,
K-pop
that's
pop
right,
song,
Gangnam
written by
Style,
South Korean
yeah.
K-pop star Psy, was released on July the 15th, 2012, accompanied by a quirky and hilarious music video. The song quickly went viral, topped the charts in 30 countries around the world, and on the 21st of December, Gangnam Style became the first YouTube video to reach 1 billion views, which this one
And
went to,
still
right, guys?
climbing.
Number 88. Indeed, the expansion of South Korean culture throughout the world has been dubbed Haeyu, meaning the flow of Korea. The sorely missed, Q comments saying, "Oh, sounds a liberal cuck," former President Barack Obama even referred to this during a visit to South Korea in March of 2012. Number 89. In 2012, a prison in the South Korean city of Pohang became the first in the world to introduce robotic prison guards. The bots are equipped with 3D depth cameras,
Okay. Okay. Alrighty then. Robotic prison guards. Robotic prison guards. Why do those two words sound wrong? Robotic? Robotic is fine, but when you mix it together with prison guard, jeez.
two-way communication system and software capable of identifying certain human behavior patterns, allowing them.
Okay, so what it's saying here is that this thing here has this machine here has the capability of detecting human emotion. Like, if it can sense that you're up to no good, it'll catch you. And I can only assume that this little mask thing right over here is a breathalyzer. Yeah, this thing here might be a breathalyzer, or maybe this part here. So this thing here could be able to help breathalyze people.
Them to effectively conduct patrols through prison corridors, albeit under human supervision. Number 90.
Yeah, makes sense.
South Korea is also home to Uido Full Gospel Church, which boasts the largest congregation on the planet with over 830,000 members as of 2016. Sadly,
Jeez.
the church faces a declining congregation after its founder, David Yonggi Cho, received a 3-year suspended sentence for embezzling $12 million in church funds.
What the
Number
frick?
91. Somewhat hurtfully in South Korea, a unmarried person is often referred to as a big baby. It's weird, but sure, okay. Number 92. Many Korean homes have heated floors, a tradition called ondol, meaning warm stone, which dates all the way back to 1000 BC. More than 90%
Carpentry,
of houses in
yeah.
South Korea have modern floor heating, allowing people to eat, sleep, and watch TV on the wall.
No effing fair. No effing fair. So it is a standard of living in South Korea to have heated floors. That is no fair. Do they even does Americans know how much money they could be saving on electricity or perhaps even in air conditioning alone to have heated floors? Let the floors air condition your house for you. You have more floors than ventilation. Yeah, you could possibly just warm up your entire house with with heated floors. Oops.
Step 1, open the BetMGM Sportsbook. Step 2, get in.
Greetings, motherfuckers! My name is Sam, and today I'm going to be talking to you all about the best potentially inexperienced driver, whereas luxury cars with experienced drivers are painted black.
Yeah, there you go.
Houses in South Korea have modern floor heating, allowing people to
Yeah, see,
eat food and
heated
watch TV
floors.
on the warm floor.
Not many of Americans
Number
have heated
98.
floors.
Taxis in South Korea are literally color-coded according to the level of service offered. A grey or white taxi will offer a basic service with a qualified but potentially inexperienced driver, whereas luxury cars with experienced drivers are painted black, like Rolling Stone.
Okay, so here in the US, I have only seen perhaps 2 colors of taxi. Mostly yellow, sometimes even blue. But that is depending on the company of the taxi. But judging by this, for every taxi company in South Korea, they have to follow color guidelines when it comes to their taxi cars. He said that very experienced drivers for luxury and big business and stuff like that is black, while I can only assume that, let's see.
Dome songs. Number 94. South Korea's national cars with experienced drivers are painted black. Number 98. Taxis in South Korea are literally color-coded according to the level of service offered. A grey or white taxi will offer a basic service with a...
Okay, so the gray or white ones in South Korea, you would go for basic service, like if you want to go to a restaurant. Like if you want to go to a restaurant or to a ballpark or to the theme park, then you would go for the gray or white taxi.
A qualified but potentially inexperienced driver, whereas luxury cars with experienced drivers are painted black, like Rolling Stones songs. Number 94. South Korea's national sport is Taekwondo, which was developed in the 1940s and 50s out of Chinese martial arts like karate and the indigenous Korean martial arts like Taekwondo, Suba, and
Nice.
Gwonbyop. Number 95. Shiram is a Korean form of wrestling that can be traced all the way back to 37 BC, starting as competition between villages before it developed.
Okay, so practically in a way, the Koreans have invented wrestling. Well, maybe sumo wrestling, maybe.
Into a fully fledged martial art. Today, Shiram matches are held in stadiums and are quite often televised. Number 96. Baseball is one of the most popular sports in South Korea, where it's known as Yagu. There are, in fact, a number of interesting differences between Yagu and American-style baseball. For instance, teams are named after corporations like Samsung and Kia, not cities.
Okay, I have a thing when it comes to corporations buying buying stadiums. Matter of fact, corporations buying. I have a thing when it comes to corporations buying. I have a thing when it comes to corporations buying teams. Like the idea that you would have the Samsung Chargers or the Kia Steelers or Tanya Kosabutsky. I'm hoping I'm saying your name right. Hello there. Welcome to the stream.
Baseball in Korea is also accompanied by cheerleaders, which is usually weirdly not the case in the United States.
Yeah, definitely makes sense. Wait a minute. I see now. That is totally different than the United States. The United States does not have cheerleaders in baseball. The last time I remembered. They have cheerleaders when it comes to football, but not when it comes to baseball.
Number 97. Interestingly, basically the only reason baseball even exists
How are
in
you
South
doing
Korea
today,
is because
Tanya?
Dictator General Chun Do-hwan, who established the Korean Baseball Organization in 1981 as a way to pacify the people of South Korea, who kept protesting his regime and attempting to revolt. Still, he ended up in prison anyway. Bad luck, old chap. Number 98. A popular pastime in South Korea is
kite flying.
On the
Oh,
last
that's
day
pretty.
of the new moon before the Lunar New Year, it's a tradition to let go of your kites in the hope your bad luck will float away with them.
F
Number
yeah.
99. Another popular sport in South Korea is
That's
10-pin
bowling.
bowling, which was introduced to the country by American GIs during the Korean War. Good God, it's number 100. Oh! Since the game launched in 1988, nearly half of all copies of the American military science strategy game StarCraft, one of the best-selling games in history, has been sold in
StarCraft.
South
Yeah, I
Korea.
think I remember I played that.
Number 101. The world's oldest existing astronomical laboratory, known as
I'm good,
Chomsong
thank
Day
you.
Observatory, is located in Gyeongshu, South Korea, where it was built during the mid-600s. The name of the structure, Chomsong Day, means stargazing platform in Korean. So that was 101 facts about South Korea. Which one did you enjoy the most? Let me know in the comments down below.
I'm fine, thank you very much, Tanya. Okay. My mind is baffled right now. Okay, I didn't know that there were such awesome facts about South Korea. The only things I heard about South Korea is the food and the toilets. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and give that a like. My mind is a little blown right now. If anyone out there has any facts or suggestions for me to look up about South Korea, please let me know in the chat. I'm sorry, and I'm also sorry for laughing, but me and Epip here, and I don't even know if sub to Mr. Spicy Gaming is scarred for life, but we just took a look at a place that has let's see, where was it? Okay, where was it? Where's that one again? Okay, no, it's not that one. Where is it? Okay, where is it? Okay, it was a very phallic place, and I forgot where it was. Okay, wait a minute. I think I remember. It was 15 something. Wait a minute. Was it 1540 something? Yeah, here. Is it here?
South Korea has a controversial national security law which forbids...
Oh, no, it's not
citizens
that.
of North Korea.
Man, darn it, it was phallic. Alright. Okay, let me go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at South Korean toilet. And see, I told you, insane Korean toilets. South Korea vlog, high-tech toilet. Toilet museum in Suwon. 12 strange things in South Korea that surprised an inexperienced traveler. What the frick? Oh man. Freaking toilet museum. Holy crap. Alright, let's go check out this one.
I'm sure you've heard how Grammarly improves your writing, but let me tell you how Grammarly Business helped my company. Look at
15 strange things that seem normal only in South Korea. South Korea is a country of contrasts, where modern technologies and ancient Eastern traditions harmoniously combine into something totally unique in and of itself. Every journey to this amazing country reveals countless new secrets and mysteries. So here's a selection of the most remarkable findings, secrets, and mysteries.
Right there. Right there, everybody. That is the Samsung Digital City. I recognize this tower anywhere. I've always wanted to see this. The Samsung Digital City. Buy the latest Samsung products there.
Mysteries. So here's a selection of the most remarkable findings from South Korea that just might astonish you. 15. They have unbeatable state support for pregnant women. The state definitely goes out of its way to support pregnant women in...
Okay, yeah, that is awesome. And I wish we have that in the United States. I am saying that because from what I've been doing my research on, it seems that there is a thing that in the United States that there is no paternal leave, which totally sucks. Once again, maybe it's in some states.
In this country. For example, expecting women in South Korea are given a special credit card from the government with a $500 balance on it.
That's awesome. I love that.
A future mother can spend this money on medical treatment and all necessary supplements and prescriptions. The state also gives these women a little trinket that allows them to use public transport with comfort and ease. Pink subway seats are reserved specifically for expecting mothers, and the trinket activates a sign so that all other
Okay, in some stores I went to in America, there's actually parking spots that says reserved for mothers, or reserved for expecting mothers. But it seems that those spots are no longer there. I don't know why, but they're no longer there.
Passengers know that there's a soon-to-be mommy in the car. This is especially helpful for those in the early stages of pregnancy when it's not so obvious that a woman is expecting. They also get special parking spots near the entrance of most public buildings and other facilities.
Makes sense,
and they're not just for pregnant women. Mothers can use these parking places up to 6 months after giving birth.
Hello there, sub to Mr. Spicy Gaming. Welcome to the stream.
Pennsylvania homeowners, if you have a power meter like this on the side of your house, you can qualify to erase your energy bill at...
Okay.
14. Almost every bus stop has a digital information panel with the bus schedule on it in real time.
Wait. They need to have that. They need to have this in the States. They definitely need to have this in the States. Like when I was younger, when I took, public transport and stuff like that, which was cool and everything, I met some cool people along the way. It is just that sometimes knowing when your stop is at, it's difficult. For instance, the bus driver does not say what the destination is. He or she just stops at the destination and opens the door. But with this thing here, having a digital information panel inside the bus, or perhaps around the bus, okay, anyone want to start a revolution against USA to establish a better government? Not right now. Yeah, not right now. Okay. Okay, now what was I saying? Oh yes, this thing would definitely help out a lot of people when they're riding public transport, or perhaps even in trains, even in train stations. Even though the people in the train stations would definitely tell you what the next stop is, but knowing that it is there on also on a digital sign to let people know where it's at, because sometimes people do sleep on the train by accident, of course.
To start with, there are bus stops conveniently placed near every subway station in Seoul.
Like right there. Yeah, this thing over here in the bus station, they should have something like this. A digital sign saying when the bus is coming. Like, many Americans would go to a bus stop and thinking to myself saying, was I late for the bus? And then realize that the bus just comes at a different time. So hopefully with this thing over here, it lets people know that the bus is coming. When and how. You get the idea. Or in case that the bus got into an accident or a bus got in a traffic jam, a sign would be there.
And all the buses in South Korea are new and equipped with air conditioning.
Oh!
Buses run.
Okay, in the United States, there's only several buses that has air conditioning. Greyhound buses. But I do not recall public transport buses having air conditioning. I do not think the last time I remembered I rode a public transport. Maybe it changed over the years.
And 24/7, but they don't stop at all scheduled bus stops. That's why you need to be attentive.
Makes
and when
sense.
you see the bus you need, you have to signal for it to stop.
Right there. Right there. That should be it. That should be needed in every public transportation thing. But yeah, every public transportation bus stop. It needs to have this. It lets people know what kind of bus is going to where and when and stuff like that. That would definitely make public transportation even more efficient. That is awesome.
The public bus system can be pretty confusing at first, especially if you don't know Korean. In
Makes sense.
Seoul alone, there are over 400 bus routes with 8,500 buses connecting even the farthest corners of the city. At the same time, a taxi ride will cost you almost the same as a bus ticket if you manage to find 3 or 4 people to share the cab with you.
Such a New York thing. That is definitely such a New York thing. Yeah, I think I remember last time I went down to New York with family. Some people were waving to the taxi, like waving hi to the taxi. It was like, taxi! And then a person's like saying, can I get in with you? I need to go to this place. It was like saying, I'm going to the same place too. Let's go together. And then that person ended up not going to that destination. He just wants a taxi ride.
13. It's totally normal to try the food in grocery stores. In the majority of Korean...
Okay. Would you rather a potato for president or a PC? Man, I would rather have a PC for president because at any time I can upgrade the components.
In supermarkets, there are unlimited samples for you to test. And even if there aren't specific samples laid out for shoppers, and even if they're in supermarkets...
Okay. That is awesome. That is mother effing awesome. That definitely does make sense. And I wish a lot of supermarkets would do that here in the US. Have a sample platter. Put up a sign saying you can only have this much. This, like having this here. Y'all don't have a Kroger with free samples? Where I live, we don't have Kroger at all. Yeah, where I live, I don't have a Kroger. Okay. Like, what was I saying? Now this is awesome. You try the produce before you get more of the produce. That way you know what to expect from the produce. That way it won't mislead people into thinking, saying, I tried this. How come this thing does not? It's like, if I were to try this, like, I tried from this, and then I got some of this, thinking that I would taste like that. But knowing that these two are the same thing, and they would taste the same, then I won't be misled into thinking that there's something wrong with the food. Oh, that's smart. I like that.
There are unlimited samples for you to test. And even if there aren't specific samples laid out for shoppers, nobody controls how much food a customer tries before buying or not buying.
Which means is that you can go up into a supermarket, try out as many free samples as you can, get your stomach full, and then and then you can go ahead and buy some food, and then you get out of the grocery store and not eat until later in the night, maybe. I like that. That is totally awesome. I like that.
12.
All you can eat
South
watermelon.
Koreans like to give and receive practical gifts.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I definitely don't have a Kroger with free samples. Epic, do you have a Kroger with free samples? Okay.
Gifts. A traditional gift at a housewarming
Okay. Alright. That made me laugh. The toilet paper meme is back. The mother effing toilet paper meme is back. Who wants practical gifts? I want weird stuff. Yeah, me too, FF. I will love to have some weird stuff. For instance, give me some soju. Yeah, give me some soju. Which is frickin' Korean version of moonshine.
party is a few rolls of toilet paper. They really love practical gifts like this, and especially ones that can be eaten.
Yes, it seems that Koreans love to be given food. Yes, what kind of food? I don't know. I bet that if I were to give a hot dog to a Korean streamer, which I'm kidding about I'm joking for what I'm about to say. It's just, due to the fact is that, the US and South Korea are totally different. Judging by this picture. Judging by this picture, it looks like this lady is eating a hot dog. So I really don't know how a South Korean would react if I were to give them a hot dog. I really don't know how they would react. Hi. Thanks for inviting us over here. Here's some TP. Yeah. Perfect for photoshopping that picture. Epip, are you doing what I think you're doing? Where are my messages? I really don't know. Let me go ahead and check my live stream chat. Let me go ahead and refresh. Okay, it seems that your messages is not here. Yeah, see? Yeah, your pictures are, yeah, your chat messages is not here. These two are fine.
For example, management at one South Korean company presented their employees with food baskets.
Ooh. Oh, there's some awesome looking fruit.
These edible arrangements come in different combinations and can be bought in any grocery.
Ooh. Man, in the US, I don't remember getting a fruit basket, or I don't remember seeing a fruit basket or a bread basket. I have never seen that before.
Store before big festivities. 11. TV hosts wear traditional clothing on the Korean New Year.
Okay, try and see if there's an option for all chats since YT. Okay, let's go check out to see, okay. Okay, let's go ahead and check out. Okay. Okay, content, settings. Advanced settings. Yeah, not made for kids, yeah. Display number of people subscribed to my channel. Okay, that's fine. Community. Looks like, nothing here about chat. Yeah, okay. No, on TGE stream. No, on the stream. Okay. Alright, let me check. Okay. Okay, on the stream. Okay. Participants. Pop out chat. Toggle timestamp. Add stream marker. Share. Create video highlight. Send feedback. No. I really don't know, sub to Mr. Spicy Gaming. I really don't know. On Streamlabs. Okay. Okay, I definitely see there is a chat delay. Okay. Okay, settings. Okay, chat bot, no. Cloud bot, no. Layout editor, studio, get help. Stream. Yeah, that's all there. Okay. I'm not sure what you want me to look at. Well, I'll come back to that, sub to Mr. Spicy Gaming. I really don't know what is going on. Okay.
And that's not the only New Year tradition in
TV hosts wear traditional clothing on the Korean New Year. Oh, that's awesome. Man, I wish that TV show hosts would wear American traditional clothing in the American New Year.
this country.
And just in case that some of you are wondering, wearing a suit and tie is not traditional American clothing. It's not. It's used for formal occasions, but it is not American traditional. On the chat area. Okay. Advance, scene collection, notifications. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Virtual webcam. Video, audio, output, general. Okay, on the chat area. I don't know what you mean, Sutton, Mr. Spicy Gaming.
The Korean New Year usually takes place in January or February, depending on the time of the second new moon after the winter solstice. Koreans celebrate Seollal, or New Year, for
Traditional American clothing, a loincloth and a feather headdress. Oh, yeah, that's right, that's Native American. Yeah, that's Native American. I think that's Native American, or it could be Aztec. Not exactly sure.
3 days, on the day before, on, and after the New Year. And if you decide
Okay, so there's 3 dots on the top. Yes, okay, am in the Streamlabs chatting thing. And so far, I can only see is participants, toggle timestamps, and send feedback. Live chat. Oh, there we go. Alright, there you go. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, so it's now live chat. So now all messages should be shown. Okay, so now we should be good.
to travel around the country at this time of year, you might encounter some serious obstacles. And that's because everybody visits their families and childhood homes for a festive celebration. Just to highlight exactly how hectic it is, train and bus tickets are usually sold months in advance. As for traveling by car, it can take you 4 times longer because of enormous traffic jams.
Right there. There you go.
10. Kindergartners have color-coded uniforms.
Yeah, it's okay, scroll up. Okay, so it looks like something. Okay. Okay, so it looks like Oh. Something Mr. Spicy Gaming, now I know why. Okay. Something Mr. Spicy Gaming says, crap move. Move that. It's not good. F Walmart. Who wants... Okay, I go to the grocery store. It doesn't have free samples. Yeah, me either, Abib. Something Mr. Spicy Gaming says that he wants a fun... okay. Alright, I think we're good. Okay. I didn't know about that. Okay. Alright, now then. Okay, so now I should be able to see your so I should be able to see everyone's message. Okay. Kindergarteners have color-coded uniforms. I can only suspect it's to only make sure that they're in the right grade. For instance, if I was in elementary school and I was a kindergartner, I would be pre-K, so odds are I would be yellow. And then you have a regular kindergarten, which would be blue. First grade would be red, and second grade would possibly be purple, maybe. Which would definitely help teachers out immensely. In a way, to keep track on how the students are doing stuff like that. Okay.
Each kindergarten has a specific uniform in a certain color so that kids don't get lost in the crowd during field trips and walks around the city.
That makes sense.
You gotta admit, this is so simple.
Okay. That definitely makes sense. That definitely makes sense. Sometimes I wish that in the US we would have something like that. You know how it is, like when I was younger, sometimes I could get lost in big areas on a field trip. So knowing that I would have some kind of color and some kind of school emblem to let people know that I'm with this group, it would make life a lot more easier back then.
Simple yet incredibly logical, since teachers can easily spot the kids from their own group. 9. Churches give little pleasant gifts to their parish. About 4 times.
Okay, I don't want to be religious, but I did in fact do some research, and it does seem that not many churches. How can I say it? Okay, I gotta find the right words. If some of you may have seen the Vatican, yeah.
Times a year, big churches arrange free visits to dentists and hairstylists for
Free visits to dentists and hairstylists for their parish. Churches give little pleasant gifts to their parish priests.
their parish. They even have representatives who actively recruit people and businesses that want to participate in this generous program. The
That's
most
awesome.
common way they invite community partners is by distributing free wet wipes with their church's address on them.
Makes sense.
By the way,
That's awesome.
South Korea is home to the most visited church in the world, with a parish consisting of over 1 million people a year.
Jeez.
8. High schoolers study until midnight.
What?
Imagine
Oh, you. Oh. Oh man, American high schoolers would be so mad. Yeah, American high schoolers would be so mad to be studying. It's like studying through the night. Man, a lot of high schoolers would be so mad to do something like that.
every lines that lie between us. It's just lies. You see us.
Korean kids have to study a lot. Elementary students have classes from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
What? a.m. to 6 p.m.? In USA, high schoolers party till midnight. Yeah, you're right about that, Epic. People rather this is a joke from what I'm about to say. Here in the States, we normally study the ways of partying than studying math or geography and stuff like that. Once again, I'm joking when I said that.
Middle schoolers go home at 10 p.m.
10 p.m.?
And high schoolers sometimes have to study until 1 in the morning.
What the fudge? What the fudge? In the US, we don't study that much. We study. Yeah, of course, we study. But we don't study that much. 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. 9 a.m. to 1 in the morning. What the F word? That is insane. I would be doing this so much if I were to study like that.
That's why school libraries are open 24/7. Unfortunately,
Okay. And also, just in case that you want to know, even before the internet, many Americans don't use the public library that much. Okay, and Koreans have to study that much because of their crazy language and alphabet. Maybe Epip, who knows?
all this intense cramming doesn't help a child's development.
It doesn't. A child and perhaps a high schooler needs to take a break. They can't be studying so much. They can only take so much knowledge in a day.
It actually has the opposite effect. Many of them lose interest in hobbies because
Many of them lose interest in hobbies? Oh, man. Okay, I'm not sure what to say. Yeah, I saw your joke, but I saw your joke, but I wasn't going to say it at this moment. But I think I will say it soon, though. Yeah, I saw your joke, yeah. Okay. Okay, so what you're saying here is that these kids, these high schoolers, these elementary schoolers, these middle schoolers, study so much that they lose interest in hobbies. Like, what the frick? Like, how? Okay, so someone who is from South Korea, please let me know if this is true or not. Because as an American, I find this astounding, but at the same time, I don't know how I feel about it. The idea of studying so much to actually lose interest in doing hobbies. Like, for instance, like, let's say that you work perhaps a 5 to 9 shift. Or not exactly 5 to 9, or, yeah, 5 in the morning to 9 at night or something like that. And then you just want to sit down, play some games, or something like that to get your mind off of things before you go to sleep and do it again the next day. Oh yes, yeah, we must get A plus or the broomstick. Man, so, uh, I would not like that. To be studying so much that it's like, if I were to study a lot, I would love to reward myself for studying so hard and getting good grades by playing some games. Or go down to a wood shop and come up with a awesome wood carving or something like that for a hobby. To get my mind off of studying so much. Man.
Because they simply don't have any time for any kind of a personal life. They study all the time, sleep during their daily commute, and spend any bit of free time on social media.
Okay. So, alright. So they study long periods of time. Then they sleep on the bus. Why? It's like, why bother having a house? Why bother having an apartment? Why bother having a house when you're just gonna be sleeping on the bus? And then you would end up going out somewhere to eat. Then go into your house to cook something for yourself. Exactly, Epic. Learn to play an instrument. Yes, learn to play an instrument as a hobby. Can anyone from South Korea in the comment section when the stream is over, or even in the chat, please let me know that this is not true? Or is it true?
7. Couples like to wear matching clothes.
Okay, so this one over here is saying that couples like to wear matching clothes, which means Epic and his wife loves to wear purple clothing, for instance. Epic would wear a purple shirt, and then the wife, okay, how can I explain this? Okay, let's say that Epic wears a purple sweater, or Epic's wife wears a purple sweater. Then Epic would possibly get a purple sweater too, in order for them to match. It's pretty darn cute and everything, but I'm not sure how I would react to that.
South Korean lovebirds like to let everyone around know that they're an item. In fact, a relationship is supposed to be an all-consuming affair. Couples use social media to brag, have cute little celebrations every 100 days, and even arrange romantic vacations almost every month.
Post a relationship on Instagram.
Not to mention, they choose to display their in-love status with the help of matching outfits. A lot of paired clothes and shoes can be found in special stores like Sweet Bong Bong, Couple Plaza, or Couple Market.
Okay, what's Sweet Bong Bong?
Sweethearts
what the ever is Sweet Bong Bong?
of any age can find just what they're looking for. 6. The best gift for a teacher is a cup of coffee or candy.
What the F word? Okay, I remember when I was in elementary school let's see, how can I say it? When I was in elementary school, many people have told me that the best gift for a teacher is an apple. I really don't know why, but it was. Like, you can even look it up yourself. That You can even look it up yourself, saying that the people give teachers apples. But a cup of coffee or candy? Sounds like a weed store. Possibly you're right. Oh, man. I cannot be trusted to give my teacher a cup of coffee due to the fact is that I must wash my hands I don't know how many times that my grip is slipping. That I guess I would rather give my teacher candy than a cup of coffee. An apple a day would give you an A. F yeah.
While you might remember giving your teacher an apple or some flowers,
Yeah, that's right.
South Korean parents and children like to show their gratitude to a teacher by giving them candy or a cup of coffee. What's more, there's an established gift-giving culture in Korea with certain rules. For example, big gifts to teachers or public officials are considered bribes. And when somebody visits
Oh man, that is awesome. They need to have this. They need to have this in the U.S. Yeah, they definitely need to have this in the U.S. For any politician. Yeah, for any politician who has received huge gifts like that, even though it is even though if it is from a person of their constituency that would give them a package, but the idea that it could be from a big company, then yeah, I would definitely consider that a bribe. But if it were the case that if it was a personal gift giving, like a day out of a month where if people want to give their local representative something, then a local representative will be right there in person to give them a gift. But other than that, like, give a package to a post office or something like that in order to give it to you, it makes it sound like a big company's trying to bribe someone.
your home in this country, you can be sure that they'll bring a drink, dessert, or fruit. 5. They have themed subway cars.
Themed subway cars?
There are lots of themed subway cars dedicated to certain cartoon characters. Stations are even announced in these characters' voices, and they have life-size sculptures.
Whoa. Okay, that is cool. Okay, so I can have an anime an anime train. Okay. Something Mr. Spicy Gaming says, I am going to give the president some anti-hair sniffing spray. Please, something Mr. Spicy Gaming, can we please not have politicians in the chat, please? I do not want to start a chat war right now. Okay. Okay, now what was I saying? Man, sometimes I wish that the US would have some kind of, like, anime train lanes. I would like to go to the Tenchi Muyo Armory. I would like to go to the Neon Genesis Evangelion way. I would like to go to the, oh yes, that's indeed true, and it was a pretty darn funny joke. It was definitely awesome, a pretty darn funny joke. All you all you just have to do is to not mention not to mention a politician's name. You could just say a certain somebody's thing. You get the idea. You're good. Okay. Okay, like this for instance, okay, well, you get the idea. Okay. Okay, now then, okay. Now, what was I doing? Oh, yeah.
Pictures of them sitting on the seats. In Seoul, there's a
You're
subway
good, such a
train
Mrs. Spicy
dedicated
Gaming,
to
you're
a
good.
comedy animated series called Larva. It runs on
Larva?
the Green Line 8 times a day and features 2 of the
What the F word? Okay, seriously. Okay, seriously, do you all know what this is? Do you all know what this is? This is soundproof glass. This here is soundproof glass. Like, all the sound from the train is inside here. But you cannot hear the train out here, except for a beep to let you know that the train's here. They need to have this in the US as well. They definitely need to have this kind of thing in the US. That's pretty darn awesome.
cartoon's main characters in every car. 4. It's a more isolated country than we think.
It is?
Koreans practically never listen to music or watch movies from other countries. They're not very familiar with Western traditions, and they don't even have geography at school.
They don't have
At the
geography
same
in
time,
school?
they'd be happy to tell you anything you want to know about K-pop singers and bands. The most popular musical group
Okay, you're, once again, something Mr. Spicy Gaming, you're fine. Just, please, next time, please don't mention a politician's name. But you're good, though. Okay. Now then, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. It looks like is that South Korea doesn't even have geography. Oh man, they could tell the world about their K-pop and yeah, K-pop. Epiv. They could tell you about their K-pop and stuff like that. Yeah, they could talk to you about their music and their K-pop, the K-pop stands. It is just knowing that they don't know much about the outside world much.
group among the South Korean youth is the boy band BTS.
Makes
3.
sense.
They don't really eat dogs.
Okay, so they don't eat dogs.
This is
okay.
a dying trend in South Korea since almost the entire young generation has never even tried dog meat. Now, it is still possible to try this dish there, but it's extremely expensive. Modern Korean
Makes sense.
cuisine is really healthy. They usually eat grilled meat without oil, a lot of vegetables and plants, and rice. But even more than rice, Koreans love coffee. Me too.
I don't. I don't. I think some of you may have been here during the time I did do a random listing about coffee. Trust me, you don't want to see me on coffee. You really don't.
This right here, crusty sandpaper. You don't want that. Get something better for your skin.
I finally decided.
2. There's a lack of trash bins, but plenty of public restrooms.
Lack of
You
trash.
won't find any trash bins on the street in South Korea because the people there are super tidy. Now
Makes
you
sense.
might be thinking, what are you supposed to do with your empty water bottle? Well, there are lots of public
Flush it
restrooms
down the
around
toilet.
with trash cans inside. You can find them at each subway station and in every park. The restrooms are very clean and come with all the necessary amenities.
Okay, if you don't try it, how do you know you won't like it? That's true, Epip.
They have separate stalls for disabled people, and women's restrooms are, of course, equipped with diaper changing stations.
That's nice. That's awesome.
1. South
Okay, and here's a question that I have. What if the father is a single parent, and that the mother gave custody to the kid to the father? How would the father change the diaper? Okay.
Koreans' workaholism has no limits.
Yummy, yummy puppies. I guess you're right, Epip, I guess. Okay. Okay, so it looks like is that South Koreans' workaholism has no limit. So, which means that you can work 24/7. And I still don't know for sure if that's still up. As we seen in the previous video, instead of 60-hour work weeks, there's 52. People need to take a break. People are not machines.
The government of South Korea has recently taken an active fight against workaholism, which has
Yeah. Definitely here in the States too. Definitely here in the States too. People are here in the States, there's a lot of people that are working 2, perhaps even 3 jobs in order for them to make ends meet. So you can possibly say at one point or another that a lot of Americans are addicted to working. And being overworked is a very bad thing. Yeah, Epic will never be a workaholic. Yeah, me either.
become a countrywide disease. Office workers are now required, by law, to turn off their computers on Friday evening.
That's right.
Everybody is
Yeah.
supposed to abide by this new rule, but on special occasions, some exclusions can be made. Public officials are also exempt, 67% to be precise. This drastic measure is necessary to force people to have a healthy work life.
Now that is what I've been talking about. Get those people off the work desk. Get them to have a hobby. Get them to listen to some music. Go down to the roller skate rink or something.
Life balance. Still, not all South Koreans appreciate this new law.
They should.
Have you ever been to South Korea? If so, what
Okay. Alright. The teeth are disturbing. I am South Korean, and they do learn geography, love Western movies, and listen to Western music. The rest are correct, though. Okay, so they do have geography. Thank goodness. It would definitely be difficult for South Koreans to go to the United States or anywhere in the world if they don't have a basic grasp on how big their countries are, or how the traditions of some countries are. Because you really don't want to end up being let's just say you come from South Korea and you decide to go to the US, you say a word that you didn't know it was an insult. And you got beat up for that. So yeah, it's always good to learn some geography. Unless I get the wrong kind of geography, but either way, need to learn it at some point. Every time K-pop is mentioned on this channel, they always have to add a little bit of uploads video about South Korea, uses pictures of Tokyo. I'm Korean and I disagree with number 4 though. We listen to Western music a lot. Western music are going trending here. Thank you. Next. Now you see why. Now you see why. At one of the reasons why that I do Education Day is to start a dialogue with people from countries and stuff like that, so we can get, so I can get, like, so we all can get an idea on what those countries do and stuff. So at some point in life, if we decide to go down to those countries, I think we might have a good grasp on how they do things. I'm from Korea, and basically 90% of these are wrong. A lot of things aren't only in Korea. Jeez. Stop watching due to teeth transition. This place is nice, unless you're talking about how long people stay in school. I would be out of my mind for studying so much in South Korea. This video is a mix of Koreans, Chinese, and Japanese. Oh, man. Alright, and now time for the toilet. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and end this stream with a video about Korean toilets. And the one that we're gonna watch is this one. Melissa Rommel. South Korea vlog number 1, high-tech toilet. I would really like to check out this awesome toilet. Okay, let me go ahead and do this. Let's copy that. And I'll place you over here. There we go.
안녕하세요. 안녕하세요.
Oh! That is a cute robot. I need one of those. Okay, is this hole supposed to be for people put their trash in? Oh, that is a very cute robot. It's maybe it's some kind of mobile trash can. I don't know. But I would love to have one. Vapo, whatever that means. If you step over the yellow line, the guard will tell you. Okay, so don't step on the yellow line. Okay. Okay, it looks like digital ads on the bus. I mean, not digital ads, but it looks like it just shows you how to work the train. Nice beds, I have to admit. Nice beds. We got like a full-size bed. Oh, there's a high-tech toilet. Right there. Yes! Yes, ending a stream with the perfect ending. The perfect ending of a very high-tech toilet that can spoil your butt. Literally. There's buttons here for everything. There is a butt dryer. There is a thing that's, instead of using toilet paper, you end up shooting water up there. You get what I mean? So no more using toilet paper in South Korea, people.
This is the Korean toilet.
Okay, yeah, there's a butt warmer. Then there's the jet spray thing that gets up there. And maybe there's music. Maybe there's a button that says a water show in there. I don't know.
A lot of cool features that we don't have at home.
Oh. Can this thing also charge your phone?
This butt washer, lady
Butt washer. Yep, I knew there was a butt washer.
washer, butt dryer.
Yep, see, butt washer, butt dryer.
And to stop. You can also change the temperatures of the water.
Oh yeah, change the temperatures of the water. Yes. If I were to get water to go up there, I'm gonna make sure that it's warm water.
And the seat is also heated.
The seat is heated, yes.
Really high tech. Oh. So you've got your normal sink, you've got your waste disposal thing that everybody's got.
Nice.
But your drainer for your plates is actually part of the sink in a basket. So you don't have it draining all over your draining board.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Oh yeah, that totally makes sense. Okay, I get now. You wash dishes here. You put your clean dishes here in the same sink, so it doesn't get your counter dirty. Oh, that makes much more sense.
How smart is that? Look at that. 2 double beds.
Okay, a robot that walks around asking people if you need to pee. That would be awesome, Epic. Yes, I would love to have a robot that tells me when to pee. So thank you, technology. You got rid of one more thing that humans need to do. You notify people when they need to use the bathroom. A butt button. A Klingon scraper button. F yeah. A Klingon batleth.
My room, a tip. Pool, washing, bum, toilets.
Lol.
Like Japan.
I would love to have one of
Sat
those
there
toilets.
for a week wondering what the remote control was for. Couldn't find the television.
Okay. I wonder. I'm gonna go ahead and do something real quick. Okay. Alright, I thought I could have sworn that there was indeed some countries in the world that has a law saying that it is illegal to dab. So it looks like I can dab as much as I want in South Korea. Oh, this is cute hats. Oh, that's too cute. That's too cute.
다 들어있어요?
And I thought Montreal was confusing. I've never been to Montreal. What is that?
Yes, video.
The video.
That's it.
The best poop I ever tasted. What's this one?
So rice drink.
Okay, at least I know for sure that there are the many Koreans South Koreans that can speak English. Okay, so that's good. I would love to learn Korean, but in order for me to learn Korean, I would need to know what words mean. I don't want to end up saying an insult by accident.
There are messages.
Oh.
I love you forever.
Like that, yeah.
What is that?
If you want to break
What is
out,
that place?
You have to come here again.
I take it off.
What is this? What is that place?
You like it? It's alright.
It's alright. Typical dad thing. Typical dad thing to say. Okay. Alright everybody, it looks like this is gonna be it for today's live stream. It was definitely a lot of fun. I tried my best not to offend anyone, but it is not easy these days. Practically any joke that you would say could be offensive. just judging from what I saw in videos, and also from what I saw on Twitter. So, yeah, but anyways, if I say something offensive, I didn't really mean to. It is just, I'm one of those people, the old school people that you say jokes that were said back in my day, it would be considered offensive today. So, yeah, so if I offended anyone, please, I'm gonna let you all know. I'm sorry about that. I really didn't mean it.